You know that moment, right? That familiar sinking feeling when a carefully laid plan just crumbles or a big setback hits, and your immediate reaction is that gut level cry of "my plans are ruined."
Oh, yeah. Or, why did this have to happen to me?
Exactly. It's a completely natural human impulse to complain, isn't it? To feel that sharp sting of disappointment.
It absolutely is. I mean, our brains are kind of wired for that initial almost fight or flight response,
Mhm.
especially the things we see as threats or losses.
Right.
But here's the core question we're really wrestling with today. What if that problem? What if
Mm.
it isn't just a problem? What if it's actually something else
A
entirely?
disguised opportunity.
Precisely, an opportunity waiting to be uncovered.
And that's really our mission on this deep dive. We want to explore how adversity can be, well, not just a hurdle to get over, but maybe a powerful pathway to unexpected benefits.
Hmm.
Our goal isn't just about coping, it's about figuring out how you can truly thrive through challenges. We're trying to cut through the noise, turn that feeling of information overload into some real clarity, those aha moments.
Right. And to kind of anchor our exploration, we're asking this central question, one that Napoleon Hill famously posed.
Yeah.
Is it genuinely possible for every adversity to carry the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit?
That's a big claim.
It is.
Yeah.
We've really delved into the sources to see just how profound that idea might actually be.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit because, like we said, for most of us, that first gut reaction to a problem or a setback is exactly that complaining, feeling defeated, my plans are ruined. It's a very human moment of resistance.
And that initial disappointment, even despair sometimes, it's a valid emotional response. We shouldn't deny that.
No.
But here's where the potential shift happens.
Yeah.
After that initial wave passes, there's a choice, a really critical one.
Okay.
You can choose to sort of wallow in the misery, dwell on the negative aspects, or you can consciously start to look for the benefit, or maybe the lesson that the problem is actually offering.
And it's surprising how often a so-called problem turns out to be that opportunity in disguise, isn't it? Like a catalyst for something better.
It really is. What's truly intriguing is how often that happens.
Yeah, I've seen this play out in so many stories. I mean, think about it. Sometimes a problem isn't really a dead end. It's more like a glaring signpost.
Pointing something out.
Yeah, pointing out an adjustment you needed to make anyway to get to genuinely better conditions, conditions you might never have even thought of otherwise.
Right.
Like, the classic story of someone losing their job.
Devastating at the time.
Totally. But then they go on to launch this hugely successful business precisely because that layoff forced them onto a completely new path. They often say they wouldn't have dared otherwise.
Exactly. Or that sting when a job offer falls through. You were so sure it was the one.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
Only for something far, far better to come along a few weeks or months later. The initial rejection wasn't really a barrier. It was just a necessary detour.
Mm.
We see it in personal stuff too, right? Like the dream house deal collapsing. Absolutely. Only to find an even better place down the line. It's almost like the universe clearing the path sometimes.
And sometimes the transformation that adversity sparks is just profoundly personal. One of our sources shares this really powerful story. It was in a New York Times essay about a woman named Sharon, 40 years old.
Ah, yes. The brain tumor.
Right, a large brain tumor.
Yeah.
Terrifying diagnosis. Thankfully, it was successfully removed, and it was benign.
Which is wonderful news in itself.
Yeah, absolutely. But what's truly remarkable is the profound positive shift she experienced because of it.
Yeah, what's really compelling about Sharon's story is just how many positives she pulled from it. She talked about this incredible outpouring of support from her community.
Right, people she barely knew stepping up.
Yeah, acquaintances providing meals, friends arranging house cleaning, and this experience just sparked this powerful realization in her about the human capacity for kindness, for helping others in need.
She saw the good in people in a new way.
Exactly. She discovered empathy and generosity, maybe in herself and others, in ways she just hadn't anticipated before.
And that brush with her own mortality, her own fragility, it completely recalibrated her perspective, didn't it?
It really did. She spoke about developing a much more positive attitude towards life. She was eager to accomplish goals she'd actually set while recovering in her hospital bed. Imagine that focus.
Wow.
Yes, and beyond that, she even reported developing closer, more meaningful relationships with her brother and sister.
So connections deepened.
They really did. As Sharon herself put it, and this is astonishing, she said it took a personal misfortune for her to see how good life can be.
That's incredible.
She emerged with this renewed appreciation and sort of zest for living, almost a paradoxical gift from such a trying experience.
That is a powerful transformation. And speaking of transformations, let's maybe turn to the journey of Dave Bruno. This is quite a story.
Hmm.
Back in the 1980s, Dave seemed to have it all figured out. Good life in Milwaukee, successful national sales manager for a medical equipment company.
Living the dream, seemingly.
Yeah.
But then came this truly crushing double blow.
Yeah.
First, in 1984, Dave lost his job.
Okay, tough enough.
But then, just months later, while he's still unemployed, still grappling with that,
Yeah.
he suffers catastrophic injuries in a horrific car crash.
Oh my God.
Collapsed lungs, broken ribs, bruised heart, ruptured spleen, lacerated liver. I mean, the list goes on. Doctors genuinely didn't know if he would survive. He was on life support for 3 agonizing days.
Just unimaginable, pure despair.
Truly. And yet somehow he defied the odds. He recovered. Miraculously, really.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating is how he interpreted this. He didn't just feel lucky. He felt he'd been given a profound second chance at life.
A new lease on life.
Exactly. And while he was still in the hospital recovering, he had this flash of insight, almost like a vision.
Okay.
He decided he would start a business dedicated to sharing inspirational quotes.
Quotes. Interesting. Where did that come from?
Well, it wasn't totally out of the blue. He'd actually collected quotes since he was a kid. His mom used to put them around the house, to lift spirits.
Ah, so it had roots.
It did. But what's often overlooked in these kinds of triumph stories is the adversity that continued.
Right. It wasn't instantly smooth sailing.
Not at all. Despite this inspired idea, Dave's struggles were far from over. The medical bills were astronomical.
Of course.
Combined with not being able to work, it forced him into bankruptcy. He lost his home, moved his family into this cramped apartment.
Wow. From sales manager to bankruptcy.
Yet, even in that really bleak reality, he refused to give up on his dream. He just pushed forward with this relentless positivity and determination. It's true resilience.
So he didn't just hope. He acted. Strategically.
He did. He took various jobs, but specifically to learn about marketing and printing, always with that underlying goal: find the perfect vehicle for his quotes.
Okay, searching for the right format.
Exactly. And then, as he described it, the idea hit him like a ton of bricks.
What was it?
Put him on credit card stock.
Huh. Like a credit card.
Yeah. He even refined it after seeing a gold card commercial. He thought metallic gold cards. He called them success gold cards.
Kitschy.
Yeah, covering topics like attitude, leadership, persistence, courage, the things he was living.
And did it work?
Well, it's important to note the persistence here. It took 5 years from leaving the hospital to selling his first success gold card.
5 years of struggle and pushing.
Absolutely. A testament to just sustained effort through ongoing difficulty. But Dave Bruno, the guy who faced that horrific accident, has now sold over 2 million of those cards.
Incredible.
He truly turned a profound personal tragedy into an incredible triumph. It's not just recovery. It's like textbook post-traumatic growth.
That's an amazing story. And, this principle, it isn't just for those huge, life-altering tragedies, is it?
No, absolutely not.
It applies to everyday disappointments, too, even in business. This actually reminds me of my own experience way back in March 1991.
Okay.
I just finished this exhaustive search for a screen printer for my Attitude is Everything t-shirts, found one, committed to a big advertising campaign. Everything seemed set.
Sounds like a plan coming together. But I sense a but coming.
You sense correctly. A significant problem popped up just a few months later, in July. The printer took over 5 weeks to fill an order.
Ouch.
Instead of the promised 2 weeks, which was just unacceptable. It jeopardized the whole operation.
Right, especially since your pricing and delivery times were all based on that original printer's promises. That's a scary spot. You must have thought, can I even find someone else as good or affordable?
Exactly that fear. But instead of getting, mired in depression or cursing my luck, I immediately pivoted. My focus wasn't on if I could find a new printer, but on finding a better one.
Proactive. I like it.
And remarkably, within just 1 week, I found a new vendor. And this new guy could fill orders in 2 to 4 days.
Days, not weeks.
Exactly. 2 to 4 days instead of 2 to 5 weeks. Huge difference. And 8 years later, I was still working with that same vendor.
Wow.
So looking back now, losing that first screen printer, it wasn't a problem at all. It was genuinely the best thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
It just powerfully reinforced my belief that, when one door shuts, there really is always a better one waiting, often an unexpectedly better one.
That's a perfect illustration, really, of how reframing things in the face of adversity can open up completely new paths.
Yeah.
And, your own career transition, that's another compelling example, isn't it? How benefits can emerge right out of dissatisfaction and difficulty.
Oh, that's a very personal one for me. I mean, I spent years after law school feeling deeply unhappy. Actually, miserable is probably the better word.
Right.
Yeah. I only really discovered self-development principles after I'd hit what felt like an absolute rock bottom, a real low point.
Hmm.
But looking back now, I see it so clearly. All those miseries I went through, they were, in hindsight, they were blessings in disguise.
Mm.
It's almost like those tough life events set me up perfectly for what came next.
And what's so powerful about that journey, I think, is how that struggle forged this deep sense of empathy in you,
Right.
understanding.
Yeah, I think so.
Going through those genuinely tough times, breaking through that low mood, it let you grasp the real lived power of a positive attitude, not just intellectually.
No, you feel it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now you can relate much more authentically to people who hear you speak or read your work
Yeah,
because you know what that dark place feels like. It's embodied wisdom, not just theory.
absolutely. And, the raw truth is, if that law job had just been okay, like a C or maybe a C,
Mediocre?
yeah, mediocre, I probably would have just settled. I would have lived a C life. I never would have even considered switching careers.
So the mediocrity would have trapped you.
Totally. It was being a D and honestly heading for an F that gave me the sheer, undeniable push I needed to make a radical change. When people ask why I switched careers, I tell them straight up, lots of pain.
Wow. That intense pain, physical, emotional, spiritual, it became just too acute to ignore.
Couldn't ignore it anymore.
It acted like this irresistible force, compelling you to make a decision, move in a totally different direction, and the result, a life you now rate as an A. Well, that's a powerful testament, isn't it?
I feel very fortunate.
It shows how adversity, especially when it pushes us right to our limits, can be the ultimate catalyst for profound positive change. It's post-traumatic growth in action.
So, okay, we've heard these powerful individual stories. Sharon, Dave, your own experiences. The question becomes, are there common threads, universal patterns we can see here?
Yeah, I think there are. Our sources seem to point towards, well, at least 7 distinct ways that adversity actually serves us. Not just tests us, but serves us.
Okay, let's break those down. What's
Yeah.
the first one?
First, and this is a big one, adversity gives us perspective. Yeah. Profoundly.
Oh, so?
Well, think about recovering from a life-threatening illness, like Sharon. Suddenly, everyday annoyances, a flat tire, a leaky roof, they don't just seem trivial, they are trivial.
Right. You see the bigger picture.
Exactly. It forces this fundamental reprioritization. You shed the petty stuff and focus on what truly matters. It's like a radical recalibration of your values.
Okay, perspective. Makes sense.
What's number 2? Second, adversity, especially when it involves loss or deprivation, teaches us gratitude, deep gratitude.
The old saying, you don't know what you've got till it's gone.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It sounds cliche, but it's deeply true. You only really value hot water when the boiler breaks. Or truly cherish good health when you're sick.
Yeah.
This isn't about pretending everything's rosy. It's about consciously recognizing and appreciating the blessings you do have, especially after feeling their potential absence. And focusing on gratitude genuinely seems to bring more good things into your life.
So perspective, gratitude. Number 3.
Third, adversity acts like a crucible. It brings out our hidden potential.
Untapped strengths.
Yeah. Surviving a really difficult ordeal or overcoming a significant obstacle, it makes you emotionally and mentally stronger. When life tests you and you rise to that challenge, you often discover abilities, reserves of resilience you never even knew you possessed.
You surprise yourself.
Totally. And adversity doesn't just reveal those qualities. It actively kind of beckons you to develop them even further. It strengthens those coping muscles.
Okay. Perspective, gratitude, potential. What's fourth?
Fourth, adversity often provides the necessary jolt, the shock to the system to encourage us to make changes and take decisive action.
Gets us unstuck.
Exactly. Most people, even if they're unhappy, tend to cling to old patterns, comfortable routines, right?
Oh, yeah.
Even if they're stagnant or painful.
Inertia is powerful.
It really is. It often takes a crisis or just sustained difficulties to truly motivate those critical adjustments. In many ways, problems are just life's way of insistently letting you know you're off course.
Like a feedback mechanism.
A powerful one. Time to take corrective action.
All right, number 5.
Fifth, adversity teaches us invaluable lessons, the kind you can really only learn through experience.
Learning the hard way.
Sometimes, yeah. Take a failed business venture. That entrepreneur, despite the immediate pain and setback, learns crucial lessons about strategy, the market, execution, whatever it is.
Things you can't learn from a book.
Exactly. Hard-won insights. And those lessons can then enable spectacular success in the next venture. Often the most important lessons are forged in the fire of past failures.
Okay, lessons learned. Number 6.
Sixth, and this is a really profound one, adversity often opens a completely new door, and frequently a much better one.
Like the screen printer story.
Precisely. Or a relationship ends, which is painful, but it leads eventually to a far more satisfying, healthier connection.
Or losing a job, finding a better one.
Right. In these cases, the problem wasn't really a barrier. It was just a necessary rerouting,
Mm.
an opportunity in disguise
Yeah.
that you couldn't have seen without that initial door closing. One door shuts, but often a better one is waiting.
A better fit for your future.
Exactly.
Okay, and the last one. Number 7.
And finally, seventh, adversity profoundly built confidence and self-esteem.
How does that work?
Well, when you've had to dig deep, muster every ounce of courage and determination you have to overcome a significant obstacle,
Yeah.
the feeling of competence, of capability that results from that struggle, it's immense. You don't just feel more confident, you develop this deeper sense of self-worth that's intrinsically earned because you did it.
You proved it to yourself.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that strength and self-belief, it carries forward. It impacts how you approach the next challenge, creating this positive upward spiral of competence and growth. So the ultimate internal validation.
So perspective, gratitude, potential, change, lessons, new doors, and confidence. That's quite a list of benefits.
It really is. It shifts the whole frame around difficulty.
It seems remarkably clear then that while problems, adversities, setbacks, they're an undeniable, inevitable part of life, aren't they?
Absolutely unavoidable.
But the power of choice is always there,
Yeah.
within us. Now, we're not suggesting, are we, that you should deny your emotions or just pretend everything's fine when tragedy strikes.
No, definitely not. That's not realistic and it's not healthy. You have to feel what you feel.
Right. But the crucial shift is maybe avoiding that immediate final judgment, not instantly labeling a situation as only a tragedy or just dwelling exclusively on how bad things are.
Exactly. Even if you can't spot the benefit right away, even if it feels completely hidden in the fog of the difficulty, our sources consistently suggest that it does exist somewhere.
You have to look for it.
You have to choose to look for it. It's a deliberate, conscious choice to view these seemingly negative experiences as potentially profound opportunities. Opportunities for learning, for growth.
Yeah.
You have to start believing, maybe, that your problems are ultimately there to serve you, not destroy you.
They hold hidden lessons.
Hidden lessons, hidden gifts sometimes.
So the next time a problem or a setback happens, remember that metaphor we talked about? Clear off that cloudy window.
Yeah, wipe away the grime.
You might find after the initial shock wears off and the dust settles a bit that you can actually see the path forward, maybe even yourself, much more clearly than you did before.
It's about seeking clarity through the chaos. The enduring question, the empowering question to keep asking yourself is, what have I learned from this trying experience?
Focus on that learning.
Relentlessly. Focus on extracting that wisdom and then using it to propel yourself forward, to grow. In those unavoidable tough times, just striving to maintain an optimistic attitude, or at least an open mind.
Yeah, openness is key.
That openness is the very environment that allows us to find the hidden benefit within the difficulty.
Because, as Napoleon Hill so powerfully put it, every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit.
Such a powerful idea.
So when that next challenge inevitably shows up in your life, the question is, what will you discover is the seed just waiting there to sprout inside your difficulty?